Go!
All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the SinCal Studios. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis ready to break you off some MMA news. We got some fights coming up this weekend, and obviously a very special guest in the studio.
So special.
Back from Cabo, we have Rolando the Machine Velasco. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So you're here because, not just to hang out because you got back from Cabo, but because you got a fight coming up.
I do.
Where's this fight happening?
At Tachi Palace Hotel and Casino.
Right here in Northern California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that...
Well, Fresno
Central
area.
California? Yeah, Central California.
Central California.
I always thought it was up north, and then I drove by it one day and realized how wrong I was.
Yeah.
Is that Lemoore? No?
Lemoore, yeah.
That's right, Lemoore.
Yeah.
And so, what do you fight at?
135.
135, and who's your opponent?
His name's Rodrigo Lima. He's from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro.
So another important
12-4, right?
12-4, yeah.
You could put the big picture up over me. You can cover me with it so we can see.
So how's it been preparing for this fight?
It's been good. It's been hard.
Was Cabo part of your training?
It was part of the training. A little warmer down there, you know. Soak in that sun, but it's good. It's a little harder with a full-time job now. You know, working the job from 8 to 5, but it's going. I'm making it work.
Well, training in Cabo, that means you were kind of like in the same climate as Brazil. So now you
right, yeah,
get an edge that way.
We could have met halfway and fought
So
in Mexico.
This is your first fight since you got married.
Yeah.
First fight since last year.
Yeah.
And first fight since your, I guess it'd be the last fight, right? Which was last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So trying to put it all together.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been over a year since I last fought.
And was it your last fight where you got your nose broken?
No.
2 fights ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Because the whistle's gone. I noticed
the whistle's gone. Yeah, I got the nose fixed. Yeah, so I could breathe out of it now.
Nice.
No whistle.
Probably helpful
I don't
when you're
have
fighting.
that high-pitched voice. Or,
Hey.
Yeah.
So
happening.
is the plan for this one? I mean, I know. Okay, obviously we talk about your last fight. You had lost the title. Mm-hmm. That guy has turned around and lost the title. Mm-hmm. So were we going for that next guy? Because the guy who lost the title, the last guy, wasn't he on the Dana White's Contender Series? I thought I saw that guy on there. Yeah,
Adrian Diaz.
Yeah,
he was on the Contender Series.
So where is that? I mean, where's your mindset? I mean, your fight. You got Rodrigo Lima was 12-4. He was also in. I think he was in Bellator. He was in Legacy, right? So that's kind of a big deal. Kind of a step up.
Yeah. It's a big fight. It's a good opponent. As a matter of fact, I think it might be for the vacant title.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. As far as I know, it doesn't say on the poster.
Somebody let us know.
Yeah.
Somebody let him know. I don't really need to know.
Fight
But
might
let
be
him
for
know.
the vacant title.
Yeah, it's for the vacant title. As far as I know, it's for the vacant title.
When is this? Like 3 days away?
A week, right?
In a week. Yeah. I've been training for 5 rounds, so.
I read this over. You
Could
also
be for a belt. It could be for suspenders. We don't know.
We don't know. I'm ready.
You had a deal with you had a fight that got canceled that you were supposed to fight in Bellator. Did I read that right somewhere? It was a while ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. It might have been last year. Yeah.
Last year, right?
Mm-hmm, to fill in for a fight, and it just fell through. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So again, like.
That's fight world in Northern
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Well, just in California in general, right?
Yeah. So how does it change now that it's been a year? Now that you're married, now that you have a new job and all that stuff, how does that change your mindset approach to the whole game?
Honestly, if anything, there's less pressure on me. Like, my main source of income isn't fighting. Like, it's my job, right? So I don't have to stress out mentally about, I gotta win this fight or anything like that. It's like I'm going out there and just performing the best I can, and
Just a violent hobby.
And obviously, you don't have that pressure of like, okay, I gotta get this ring, I gotta propose, I gotta make sure the wedding's gonna.
yeah, I don't gotta worry about
all the
any of
planning's
that.
done. Like,
Yeah, I can just focus on training. My mind's just on training, and it's actually it's a lot better. I like it.
Is there any full-time aspirations for it now that you've got the full-time job going and you're using your degree and all that stuff? If that golden ticket came through, would you still jump on it?
Oh yeah. And my job knows, what my goals are and what I'm trying to do, and they're super cool with,
Well, yeah, because if not, then you'll kick their ass.
Yeah.
I feel like Dana White's Contender Series is picking up a lot of guys locally, especially, it seems to be a lot on short notice, but still a lot of guys locally.
Well, your gym in general
had like 3 or 4,
was
right?
king of the short notice.
Yeah. Angel took that short notice like a week. Buddy took it.
Well,
like
even your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of knew ahead, but still, it was 4 weeks out. She knew.
4 weeks out.
That's still, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm ready for that. And I mean, Angel was telling me that they're possibly going to do it again in December. I'm not sure.
Already starting season 2?
Yeah, they might be doing season
Are they going to bring him back? Has he heard? Or
I'm not sure. He hasn't heard anything.
Well, that's Dana's whole mentality about it, though, too. Is like, if you want to fight, then you need to be ready to fight at all times.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things where he's putting these people up on the Tuesday Night Contender Series, where it's like, if you really want to do this, then when I call, you come. And he's put a lot of people through that test already.
Yeah.
Is there any animosity at the gym that your wife is the only fighter that went the distance? No.
No one's going to tell her. She's going to beat the shit out of her.
Does she call them all peasants? Move, peasants, move.
Because, I mean, really, out of the 3 fights, that girl fight, they both were like, they wanted the contract. Not to say that Buddy or Angel didn't want a contract, but, I mean, it was an all-out war.
Yeah, and that's what we try to tell her about it. Like, keep your chin up. Even Tom afterwards was like, at least you didn't get choked out like the guys did.
See, but he can say that.
He can do that.
He's
joke.
the coach.
Yeah, I mean, they knocked the shit out of each other.
Oh, yeah, they were back and forth, yeah.
You know, there was one point where she kind of got dazed, and I like laughed to myself. I was like, I can't wait to talk to her about this, but I mean, how long do you wait? Like, you know, I do the smoking thing. You got knocked the fuck out. You're kind of lost for a minute, but then you know, it was back and forth. It was a good back and forth.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I was there in her corner, and yeah, she surprised me how tough she was. Like, I didn't know she was that tough, and yeah, I found a newfound respect for her. Yeah. Right
on. Well, hopefully you get that call soon. You can come out to Vegas.
Oh, changes that living room argument shit.
You do the dish. Never mind.
Right on it.
He's automatically going into rubber guard. We're going to the ground. We're going to the ground.
Where's my remote? Never mind. All right, so best of luck, of course, in your upcoming fight at Tachi Palace. If you happen to be in the Central California area, you want to go down and see it, or up to see it, or whatever. They put on great fights over there. Definitely worth checking out as well. Moving on from there, jumping into some news now. We got Uncle Creepy has left the UFC.
We had talked about this last week, and we were speculating on where he might go. He's obviously looking for that $100,000 payday that he was talking about. We said Ryzen might be a place for him to go. And lo and behold, he has signed with Ryzen. He has entered into the Bantamweight Grand Prix, which has been going on.
He wants that suitcase money, like we said, man.
He's got to stay healthy.
He is on the wild card, or he was the wild card entry. So yeah, he had signed with Ryzen. He immediately got into a confrontation with his opponent, who is Manuel Cape, who is 7-1 from Portugal. They got very close to each other. And then also,
slow dancing right there.
They decided to have kind of a face-off. And basically, Uncle Creepy walked off the set. He got really upset because the guy kept like doing this to him, doing a little bit, like, yeah, I'm flexing, yeah. And Uncle Creepy kept being like, motherfucker. And like, finally, he just walked off, and you can see the guy just flips him off. It's going to be interesting to see how far he goes.
And then immediately they both fell sick.
We don't know that.
I love it when the fighters that do that shit on the stare downs, though, when they get knocked out in the ring. So I'm kind of really rooting for Uncle Creepy.
But the other thing is they were doing a little Q&A, and the guy kept interrupting Uncle Creepy. Uncle Creepy was like, "Who the fuck are you? Who are you? You're from Germany? Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. I can't wait to shove this guy up." I'm like, "Dude, he's from Portugal."
Dude, research.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That will be going down. What is this? Ryzen's, the second part is December 29th. You can check that out. Ian McCall versus Manuel Cape.
All right.
Also in that same tournament, you have Kyoji Horiguchi. His opponent has yet to be named.
Does Manuel Cape wear cape?
I don't think so.
Missed opportunity right there. Big time.
Missed opportunity. You can speak to Joey for management.
Yeah.
I mean, just
it's
saying.
Marketing, bro. It's easy.
This is the guy. He needs a tennis racket. He's that kind of manager.
Vitor Belfort has announced his next fight. Vitor Belfort says he is fighting January 14th against Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
I have not seen this announced from the UFC yet.
Whatever he was.
But Vitor Belfort says, "I signed my contract."
So Vitor says a lot of shit.
And then it happens.
Well, yeah. He could have just been dreaming.
So who do you got in this fight right off the bat?
All right, Hall.
Oh, I'm going to take Uriah Hall.
Nobody's got or post TRT
But
Belfort.
the thing is, Belfort, he's one of those guys that also fucks up, people's careers.
Yeah.
Because he suddenly wakes up and wants to fight one day.
There you go. Another fighter who has said that he has signed a contract. We have Edson Barbosa says he has accepted a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov's camp has yet to respond.
I've accepted a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Whatever. Khabib Nurmagomedov is not fighting anybody. He won't show up.
That's why I'm issuing a challenge to Khabib right now.
Yeah, I mean earlier in the week, he's on MMA Fighting complaining about that Ferguson needs to fight him, and then I'm just like, how the hell does it? Who you didn't show up for the fight? You
Three
had a
times,
fight. Yeah,
3 times he was
Yeah.
booked to fight Ferguson.
it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? It seems like now this is like I think the 3rd or 4th fighter I've seen this. It's like, yes, I'm fighting so and so, and the UFC's like, did we fucking announce that? Is that booked?
It's the Conor McGregor marketing. You project it until it
I
happens.
mean, obviously we got
I think
Cyborg doing that. We'll get to a little story
Silva's
there.
left, nobody has respect for the new matchmakers or how this whole thing works.
I mean, yeah, because if you picked up Joe Silva, you were immediately punished. We know that.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
fact.
But who's the head med? Shelby, right?
Shelby does some of it, and then there's another guy as well. Maynard, yeah.
Maynard, yeah.
So, but Maynard does what Shelby used to do, which is the lower weight classes, right?
I think
Or
he's the upper, and
yeah.
Shelby stayed at the lower.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And some more fighting announcements we have. This one actually from the UFC. Cub Swanson will be taking on Brian Ortega. This is going down in Fresno.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right on.
So this will be at a UFC fight night going down December 9th.
December 9th, right.
You can get your tickets now. Again, Cub Swanson saying he will not let Ortega make a name off of him. He was obviously calling out, trying to get a title shot a couple times. UFC didn't offer him that, so he took this fight with Ortega.
That's good. This could be
Ortega
a
is
food fight.
12-0.
Swanson Fisherman against
That's going to be a
Ortega
good fight.
Chips.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting
Getting
event.
hungry.
And the last
am
one
hungry.
announced by the UFC,
Definitely
we have Tecia Torres. Got her wish, is going to be going up against the karate hottie Michelle Watterson December 2nd at the UFC 218.
Dodge likes this fight.
I do
Bro,
like this fight.
what is fappening?
You remember she was the one calling her out on Twitter saying she wanted, let's
No.
do this.
Yeah.
They made this fight happen.
This literally is going to be like one of the best looking fights.
I like this fight
Wow.
just because they both like to stand up.
They both do like to bang. Yeah, I'm excited for this fight. Again,
Say
UFC
it
218
again?
in Detroit.
Look me in the
Look you in the
eyes.
eyes.
Look at me. Moving on to some USADA news. Lyman Good is suing the supplement company that he says basically provided or was able to give him a positive test. He's saying
I love the gains. I hate that I popped.
Yeah, he's saying he used this company called
Anovite?
Gaspari Nutrition, and then the exact one he was using was Anovite. He was tested positive for anabolic agent 1, androstenedione.
Really?
Yeah.
Anabolic steroid, huh? An Anovite, huh? Fucking shocker.
Outta
He
here.
is suing them.
Serious?
They're saying,
Hey, look at his look at his traps. You know what? Look at his traps and then say it with me.
I'm not surprised.
Come on.
I don't want to pop for anabolic steroids. Maybe I should stay away from anything with Anna in the name. Fucking chicks named Anna. Santa Ana.
He
It
said
doesn't
he
fucking
thought,
matter. Just
hey,
stay away from it.
He thought he was taking a multivitamin. That's what he says.
Yeah, with anabolics with it. And Anavite. And again, everything we're doing is completely satire. All jokes written by Roy Bueller.
Whoa!
Whoa, what? Further USADA news, we have Cyborg recently went on her Twitter on a little rampage here. Said this is the 3rd visit. Actually, she said thirth. Third visit from USA.
Hey, fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
First visit from USADA in less than a month. I want to see if
Hey,
my
y'all.
opponent is doing the same exams in the same proportion I am doing. She's obviously
Thursday.
asking to fight Holly Holm. She's saying that she believes
Thursday.
that Holly Holm should be tested as much as her if she's getting tested.
Yeah, I saw one of the posts I read said that she didn't care that she was getting.
Doesn't care if she's getting
that much,
tested.
but she wants
To make sure Holly Holm is getting tested. Yeah, so then the next tweet she put out says, I want to guarantee Holly Holm is tested the same number of times as me during this camp. Her gym has a history. And then said, again in her following tweet, no gym in MMA has more fighters doping violations than Jackson Winkle.
No, that's cocaine.
But I mean, he had Mir, he had, you know what I mean, John Jones, I was saying. Holly Holm came out and did a video on her Instagram where she says, apparently there was some drama. And she goes, I can't believe I'm actually wasting a full minute making this video. She says, I have been testing as much as Cyborg. Actually, if you go to USADA, you can look up every time a fighter's been tested for the UFC. You can look up how many times they've been tested in and out of competition.
It's like tracking a package from Amazon.
Yeah, straight up. And actually, Holly's been tested one more time than Cyborg has. So she's like, scoreboard. Oops. Scoreboard.
So she's been tested 4 times.
Fourth time. Cyborg responded and immediately said, I'm anxious to announce my fight. I want to be about Holly Holm. I never pick my opponents. All this thing. We heard about the whole thing. She said, I am not against USADA. I do not see USADA as a bad thing. In fact, I want to support
I am against.
year-round Olympic testing for both of us to prove that we are both entering clean. Basically saying that her gym had asked us to be clean for a year. I have made that happen. I want to make sure that if I have to do that, so should Holly Holm. I want to make sure we're tested the same amount of times while we were in camp to fight each other. Hopefully this fight will be for the New Year's Eve main event. Get on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and ask that Holly Holm sign the contract. Give Dana White an opportunity to make the biggest fight in women's MMA for history. Also, if you have not bought your Chris Cyborg versus the World t-shirt, you can order yours right now. She doesn't have an official store. She has a eBay account that's run by Tito Ortiz.
Oh, is he still managing her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went to the Punishment Athletics website. This shirt's nowhere on there. You can only get it if you buy it from Tito on eBay.
Wow.
It seems a little weird.
Right.
Wow.
In the fandom and in the
Does he get the money? Does she get the money? Is this like a run of shirts that they still have left? And he's like, bitch, you got to sell these shirts because I am tired of them holding them up in my warehouse.
I want to know what else he's selling on his eBay account.
I don't even want to put these on
lures.
on my actual thing. Let's see what Tito Ortiz is
Old
selling.
baseball cards.
We can find out right now.
Yeah.
I'll click Tito's name.
But, about
What is
these
Tito Ortiz
two girls in fandom and in all the forums,
The same shit that you can get.
they make such a big deal about both these chicks being like dudes, and here they are. They're both fighting with each other about being tested, which isn't helping it at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, scoreboard, Cyborg, scoreboard. She's been tested one more time.
I'll say this, because I follow Gabby Garcia on Instagram. Cyborg has been not only training, but she's also been learning how to dance as well as part of her training.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
It's good footwork. Exactly.
I think I'm
and the last-
dancing with a man.
Last little bit of USADA news we have. Actually, we have two little pieces of news. We have Little Nog has been hit with an anti-doping agency violation, anti-doping policy violation stemming from out-of-sample test collected September 27th. He has been pulled from his fight with, who's he supposed to fight? Jared Cannonier. Are you surprised?
I thought that it was this weekend. For Lil Nog, I'm a little surprised.
Are you?
Not super.
From a guy, okay, here's the thing. Like, I think I texted you this, and I said, anytime anybody that used to fight in Pride or is possibly from Brazil,
Or if they're both, then they don't. They double the odds.
Okay, Trump.
I'm just gonna say,
If you're from Brazil,
I'm not surprised,
No,
it's not great.
especially if you fought in Pride, because they flat out said we don't do any testing. Pretty much at all.
I saw the testing from Pride. The screen cap of the testing came out, and it was
a questionnaire.
It was alcohol, cocaine, heroin, and then one other drug, and then it was like it flat out said we will not test you for steroids at all. Knock yourself out. Just don't fucking do cocaine.
Just don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Makes us look bad. And then we talked about Jesse Taylor. I think on the last show, he has accepted his 1-year suspension. By the way.
Yeah, he didn't even argue.
Didn't even.
But people are speculating that John Jones isn't going to have to serve his 4 years.
That is not what it was said.
That's not what was said.
That is not what was said.
We talked about it last time.
That's what the headline said.
Yeah, that's what the headline said. But if you come to read it, it's most likely going to
it's
be
like
a
everything
reduced sentence, but not necessarily 4 years.
I only read headlines now. That's
Only
all,
headlines.
That's all
That's
the
it.
world's come to now.
That's all the world
Again,
is.
it's like
It's
Trump.
headlines.
It was taken out of context.
It's out of context.
Patrick Cummins has pulled out of his fight at UFC 217
He rubbed his foot on
due to a mutant staph infection, as you can see.
What's his name, Chad?
Kevin Lee. Him and Kevin Lee were wrestling.
That's pretty crazy.
That just looks like it hurts.
He looks like
It's like a sausage with toes on it.
That's a pregnant lady's foot on the right.
My favorite is that Corey Anderson, who is supposed to fight, says, how do you call it quits so far out from fight night? There's still 3 weeks to fight. Bro, he's got fucking staph infection in his foot. Like,
Kevin Lee fought with it.
yeah, that's pretty much his whole thing.
Did you see his heart rate when he was cutting weight?
He says, Patrick
fucking
Cummins
batshit
responded,
insane,
talking
dude.
tough now that you know that I pulled out. Let's rebook it. I'm still down. You need more time to train for me anyways.
You're lucky you got the staff.
You're lucky I got staph. Speaking of Kevin Lee, this was recently found on here. This was his questionnaire when he had to fill out his medical form. He checked no on everything. Do you have a serious medical illness, disease, condition, or allergies of any kind? Have you broken any bones? Have you had any injuries?
Describe serious.
Any lacerations? Have you had any surgeries? Have you taken or received any medication, drug, cream, or ointment, inhalant, intravenous injections, or prescription, or over the counter from anyone, any place in the
I hate
last
these
month?
questionnaires, man.
Have you received any nutritional supplement in the last month? He checked no
On everything. Well, when
And
I go
then-
to the fucking dentist and they give me this stupid questionnaire, and it's like, have you ever had any surgeries? Like, I had my fucking tonsils out when I was a baby. Do I have to put that down?
Yes.
You gave me no time frame. I don't understand.
This says in the last month.
Well, this one at least gives you a time frame.
So yeah, they're
Our fucking
asking
dentist needs this questionnaire then.
if you have, and then he signed it. We have the next little thing there. Signed it under. This is under penalty of perjury. So
Where's Jeff Sessions when you need him?
yeah,
Man,
what's gonna happen to Kevin
Chasing
Lee?
Russia.
Chasing
Nothing.
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 He signed that he didn't have staff, and at the end he's like, "Yes, so guess what? I had staff."
Yeah, and the UFC told DC not to talk about the staff thing during the event because then they knew he had
Yeah, but
staff.
nobody told Joe.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. It was like, bro,
Either
I'm
that
pretty
or-
sure. I'm pretty sure that's staff. Like, is that staff? Oh, my finger just went into your chest. Is that staff? Like,
did not lay off of it the whole time.
what is this? What happened? It looks like staff. You're gonna tell me it's not? Is that staff? Like,
Pop.
yeah.
He scratched it like a scratch and sniff.
Smells like staff.
Definitely
Tastes like
staff.
staff.
It tastes like staff. That tastes like staff, bro. I've seen staff. So nothing, even though he signed it, and
a Brian Recluse
again, under penalty of perjury, nothing's gonna happen
Nothing's
to
gonna
him.
happen to him.
How
Nothing.
do you fill out those medical forms when you're cutting weight, though? It's like you're not even there.
And he couldn't even cut weight.
It's like,
I mean, look at that signature. That signature is beautiful.
Yeah, he's,
That's like agreeing to stuff during pillow talk.
Did he sign
Yeah.
Kevin Lee across?
yeah, baby. I'll buy you that Mercedes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is
no
that just
problem.
me? Did he sign Kevin Lee across this way? Like,
Yes.
he gave up right here.
if I don't sign my real signature, I can't get in trouble, right? That's how it works.
So wait, what? Ben Affleck told people in Hollywood never sign your real name.
Yeah.
He worked it with the Vex.
I think that's where they were telling him to sign, but you know.
So what Kevin
all right.
Smith saying, he said Ben Affleck told me never sign your real name. If I sign my real name on something, he said don't ever do that. Then he can be held responsible. So now Kevin Smith says he signed Ben Affleck's name.
Juliana Pena is deciding to be out because not deciding, but she is going to be a mother. She's announcing her pregnancy.
Oh, well,
her-
it makes it hard to fight.
Her and her fiance Lewis are announcing that she will intend to return to the UFC in 2018 after her baby.
So that means she's only gonna fight 2 more times.
Possibly.
All right.
She can fight at least once before
That baby comes.
that baby comes out. I did like how she
Does
was.
she get show money twice?
That's 2 people.
It's 2-on-1. Unfair advantage.
She said she can, get back into shape. She's gonna be a role model by coming back from having a baby and showing that women are still strong, can still do these things.
She's gonna come back and win.
I don't know. A, she's gonna win, but B, it's like, are you gonna be a role model? Does that mean you're no longer gonna go to the bar, get drunk, and try to fight somebody and kick people in the crotch? Because that's what you got arrested for.
Oh, shit.
Damn, like an old girlfriend, Dodge. Bringing up old shit.
It's a plunger, man.
Dodge just pulled the plunger.
But she's got a baby. Congratulations on your baby.
Brenda's got a baby. Yeah, you don't want to be training when you got babies.
You know who somebody is training?
Both my kids, I can blame it on that.
Somebody who is training, CM Punk here.
I heard he's gonna fight
what?
Century Bob.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
And
great.
Century Bob's already favored by 175.
Duke Rufus posted this picture of CM Punk training at Roof Sport. Says that they are waiting and working on the next fight. He's working hard and getting better every day. How much do you think CM Punk is actually going to fight again? Even though Dana White was saying, I don't know.
They should make him fight Mickey Gall again.
They might as well. He's got a contract. Yeah, make him fight Mickey Gall again.
No, they should make him box McGregor.
There's the money fight right there.
There's the money fight. No? Nobody? Yeah, no?
I think now.
Do you think he's done?
I think he's done.
I think that now that the spectacle of CM Punk fighting is
Yeah,
gone, like they can throw him on the undercard or something like
They're
that.
saying co-main event.
Fuck
What?
that.
On a Fight Pass card, man.
On a fight pass.
Dude, he made what? He made 500,000 show,
Yeah.
and they gave him 500,000 later. He made $1 million for the fight against Gall.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
He makes $1 million per fight. He has 3 fights, $1 million each. Might as well just fucking get rid of that contract.
Just hand him the $1 million. Here's $2 million. Go.
No, get some fights out of it. If you're gonna get some pay-per-view buys, then get it. You know?
Oh, they should make him fight Gabby Garcia.
This isn't Ryzen.
They should sell his contract to Ryzen.
Dana White recently came out and said that it's intriguing for Conor McGregor to possibly fight George St. Pierre, but George St. Pierre would have to win and defend the title first.
You have to defend it?
That's the wrong graphic. I'm sorry.
I like this mount me hat.
So that GSP would have to win the title, defend the title, Conor has to defend the title,
Hold on, now
and
we're
then
getting
this
two
fight
drinks.
could happen. That's where they see it down the road, this fight happening.
Why does GSP have to defend a belt when Conor doesn't?
No, Conor.
No.
is-
He's saying Conor has to defend his belt. GSP would have to defend the belt that he wins.
Okay.
And then they could fight.
Bullshit. This fight's happening. Bullshit.
Not if they lose.
No, if they win, that
No, wouldn't it be cool to have them fight like a loser bracket?
no, if they're gonna make this fight happen. This is a money fight. This is huge. Dana White was on as much as I hate to talk about it, was on Barstool this week, and they brought it up. This fight, and Dana's like, no, nobody's even talked about that. Bullshit, Dana. Bullshit.
Well,
People have been talking about this for a while now.
He was on a show in Toronto, and he said, I don't know where it would be. We could do it in Croke Park in Ireland, where there's 100,000 people. We could do it in Toronto, where we had 56,000 people, or we could do it in Vegas. It's always good too.
He said that he can't do it in Croke Park in Ireland because of the noise curfew.
Okay. He said
Everybody has to be inside and sleeping by 9 o'clock or some shit like that.
everything's intriguing for Conor McGregor. If you look at Conor at
fight during
any
the
weight
day.
class, it's intriguing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the fight's gonna happen.
You think it's going to happen?
They can't risk losing all those pay-per-view buys with Conor possibly losing to Ferguson. You know what I
I'm
mean?
more
No,
interested.
He's fighting Ferguson next.
No way, dude. It's GSP.
Yeah. I think GSP.
It's GSP.
Over Nate, the money fight?
No, Nate's already priced himself out.
Yeah. If Nate prices himself back in, then that'll happen.
I think Ferguson will happen, then Nate will happen.
I
Because
can't find it, but like supposedly
Here's my thing.
Nick had just made like $60 million off their pre-rolls.
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think Conor McGregor comes back, fights Tony Ferguson for the title, regardless of whether he wins or lose. The Nate Diaz is still a money fight because neither of the guys have a belt. Doesn't matter.
Right.
If he fights Nate first and loses, then it's a bigger problem. You can't make him fight against Tony. It's a weird fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it gives Nate an opportunity to get a title shot before he fights a contender, which is kind of weird. I think that's what's going to happen. He'll fight Ferguson, then he fights Nate, regardless whether he wins or loses, and then he fights GSP.
Yeah, but you're still had that mind thinking of doing something in order to where it's like, oh, they earn their title, or they earn their shot, which they don't do in the UFC anymore.
I think it's
all money. So
I think that's where I think the money is, though. Is I think
Ferguson?
a
I don't
title
think-
shot with Ferguson is money because Ferguson will talk his way just as much as Conor will,
Yeah.
and he's got the belt.
I just don't see that happening. I think that if you had the opportunity to make any of these fights happen, Ferguson is last on the list.
All right. What about this fight right here? I found this online. This is one of the craziest photos I've ever seen. That's Paulie and Conor combined.
Oh,
And once you see that, you can't unsee
that's
that.
Conor Malinaggi.
Somebody spent way
Paulie
too much
McGregor?
time.
Paulie McGregor.
Yeah, somebody spent way too much time using the airbrush feature in Photoshop on that. Good Lord.
You don't like that?
It's kind of scary.
It is a little
weird.
scary.
He looks
It
like
is a little
he
scary.
looks like he's going to steal your Lucky Charms. That's what he looks like.
UFC 218 is going down December 2nd. We are going to have the Featherweight Championship, Holloway versus Edgar. They've released the poster for this. Check this out. Look at Frankie's crazy eyes. He's got some crazy eyes.
He does.
I've never seen Frankie look like that. They also need to hire a new graphic designer because they can't spell championship. If you zoom in on that, it says they're fighting for the championship. Is it? Championship.
It's the Planet of the Apes belt.
I thought the UFC had a little more money than whoever they paid.
To have spell check?
To have spell check.
They can't spell anything right.
What's that red squiggly line under that word? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Apparently they couldn't buy a vowel. So.
Maybe it's because pay-per-view numbers have not gone well. Recent report from Dave Metzler at the Wrestling Observer newsletter has put out, he said early indicators look that they have not sold a pay-per-view over 1 million buys this year.
I'm not surprised.
10 months
No,
in.
and-
Last year they did 5 events over 1 million buys.
No.
This year, the highest one that we have was Cormier Jones to 860,000.
Hey, out of 11 people in my shop, I'm the last guy that still buys pay-per-views. Everybody else streams them. Out of 11 houses, I'm the only house. Well, me, Matt, our little group are the only ones who legit still pay for them. Everybody else streams them through either their, I don't want to say where, but
I do not stream them.
The little
come
online
over your
sticks that
house.
you can buy at the flea market.
yeah, and that's not the only thing too. There's systems that people can add to their computers, everything. So I'm not saying that people aren't interested in these pay-per-views or anything, but streaming.
There's been a lot of matches though that have been lit up over the last year that we've been like, like the main event's cool, the co-main event might be okay, and then it just completely falls off.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cards to completely collapse.
Yeah.
I mean, a week before the fight, 2 weeks before the fight, the day of the fight, where you were like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna watch this. Oh man, the main event's gone. The co-main event was all right. The other one's just it's okay.
And it's not something you buy 2 weeks out. It's something that you buy that
the
day.
Day of, you get
5 minutes
over.
beforehand. Oh shit, I forgot to order it. you know? And if it's a shitty card or it falls apart, then you don't.
It's like I'll just catch it on replay.
Yeah. I'll watch it in GIFs tomorrow.
GIFs on Reddit.
That's how I watch them. Watch them in GIFs on Reddit.
That too. I'm missing an event.
It's the easy way.
GIFs.
Yeah.
It's like they're the highlights anyway.
Yeah. So I just want an 11-second replay of everything. Be done with it.
Glory 46 happened over the weekend, and we talked about this Bigfoot making his kickboxing debut.
And retirement.
And did not go well. Got knocked the fuck out with a high kick.
Yeah.
Do we really need to do this?
Again? No, I don't think so.
Michael Venom Page made his boxing debut yesterday as well in England. His boxing debut.
How'd that go?
He went up against a guy who was 2-11, so an actual tomato can, and ended up winning. And actually won his fight, where I swear to God, for the first 3 rounds, his opponent didn't throw a single punch.
Oh shit.
So check that out.
I don't know what's happening
Dennis
right now.
is leaving.
Dennis is leaving.
I'm adjusting something.
And Dennis is gone.
So he made
Dennis has left the building.
He made his debut and retirement in the same fight.
And retirement in the same fight.
Amazing.
What do you feel about fighters going over to? Let's talk to you. What do you feel about fighters going over to other sports, especially combat sports? I mean, you obviously had Conor was the biggest one going over to boxing. You had Bigfoot trying to do kickboxing. Michael Venom Page doing some boxing.
I think it's cool.
You think it's cool?
I'd like to do it.
You take the opportunity?
Yeah,
I mean, you got the Diaz brothers have done some boxing matches before.
I think they should be more open to it. At least the UFC should.
Yeah, it seems like Bellator is very open to it.
Well, I mean, they have the kickboxing undercards.
They do have the kickboxing undercards. What is something that you would want to do? Do you want to do just a straight boxing match, or did you do kickboxing?
I do boxing. I do kickboxing. I'll do a pro wrestling match.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Velasco off the top rope.
Shoot.
I want to see a fucking luchador.
619 in the face.
We have seen some pretty shitty tattoos in MMA.
Nothing worse than Brock Lesnar's dick tattoo.
I'm talking about fan tattoos.
Oh, yes.
So if you see this lovely picture we have put up here, someone actually got this tattooed on their leg, I believe. And actually they did a pretty good fucking job. Pretty good fucking job.
You can do a really good job on a shitty tattoo.
The tattoo is great. Like the artistry is great. I don't know why they chose to get this picture of Conor and Nate hugging after their fight.
That's some serious fanboying right there.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
Maybe he got his first Bloondy or something the same night. I don't know.
Maybe it was like that TV show they have over in the UK where they surprise you with the tattoo, and it was then their friend was like, "Oh, do this one on."
Oh, did you see that one? That got the guy bent over.
Yeah, his belly button's the butthole. Yeah. You get a tattoo, and you don't know what it is. Your friends pick it for you. You go in, they do the tattoo, then they do a big reveal where you go look in the mirror. Yeah, guy, he's all bent over.
that.
His belly button's his own butthole. Yeah. There's another one where it's like on the chick's inner thigh, her upper thigh, and it's a hand pulling the tampon out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because apparently her friend had to help her with that at one point in time.
I would only have to watch the show once and be like, no.
Nope.
No.
No.
That's what the whole thing is like. Your worst enemy wouldn't do some of that shit to you, but your best friend absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely is gonna do it too.
At least
most
like
embarrassing thing
at
I
least
can think
like a
about
cool
you.
guy, like some guy holding your dick, like something like that. You know?
Come on, team, we're going in.
Come on, we're going in.
I thought it'd just be the old ones, just like welcome aboard.
On a cold day, it's
Welcome to Jamaica, man. Have a nice day.
Obviously, we talked about the Ryzen tournament that's going on, the World Grand Prix. This happened over the past week here, and we had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we got to blow that up. Blow it all the way up, Josh.
It's right here.
Blow it all the way up,
side boob?
Josh.
Little side boob action.
Side boob?
That's not just. That's the whole boob.
That's the whole boob. Yeah, there was
I don't know,
definitely.
man.
We didn't see the whole boob, but somebody saw the whole.
Somebody
No,
boob.
saw
you
the
could see the nipple.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the nipple because we're showing this on the screen. We want to make sure that we don't get flagged.
Calm
by
down, man.
anything.
It's just a nipple. You
We're
see
making
one-
sure we don't get flagged by anything. It's just side boob,
Okay.
Janice.
Okay. Sorry.
He's all about that.
I mean, it kind of stuff's like it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
so Irene Cabello Rivera got the armbar submission over Mayu Yamamoto. I believe Yamamoto could have got out of this armbar if she wasn't worried about her boob coming
Worried
out.
about a boob coming out.
Because her boob's hanging out and she's like, nope, done. I need to fix this before I stand up. Like,
All right, so if that happens, is it legal to do a titty twister?
It's a nipple tweak. Nipple tweak. I don't know, man. If a guy's dick falls out of his shorts, can you tug on it?
Yes. Do you not?
there's no rule against it. We have a fighter right here.
No rule against
Is that considered small joint manipulation? Because I think that's against the rules.
small digit manipulation. Yeah.
I don't think that's a joint. Tug on it all day. if you
Mine's
want.
pretty bendy. Yeah, go ahead.
It's more like a.
What's the have you ever seen any like wardrobe malfunctions?
No.
None.
I haven't.
Dennis Hallman's fight was the entire thing was
The
a
entire
wardrobe
thing.
malfunction.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
then on, why wouldn't you fight in a singlet after that?
Right?
That's all I would fight in is a singlet.
Yeah, going into the UFC Fight Night 118 this weekend, we do have a little bit of news to announce before we get into reviewing the fight.
Oh, Sam Alvey.
Sam Alvey did not make weight.
Bummer.
Yeah, Smiling Sam did not make weight.
How does he not make weight?
Well, he came in at 189 for his 185
Damn.
middleweight bout.
He came in at 180. He came in 4 pounds over when he was
Well-
already cutting.
That's because, no, he was given this fight 10 days before the fight.
Oh.
And he was already at 220 pounds.
Why the fuck was he at 220 pounds?
Because he says that, he works out and eats when he's not during camp.
Taco truck.
You still got to stay somewhat close to your fucking,
185
What if I get that call?
What's the biggest weight you've had to do?
10, 15 pounds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not fucking, what is that? Can't even math right now. It's fucking
So what do
35
you
pounds.
walk around at?
I walk around like 158,
What's the heaviest you've ever been in your life?
like 160, 161.
In junior high,
This
I
is
was
this
160.
is the difference. This is the difference between someone who works out and someone who doesn't work out. We're like the same height. And I'm a fat ass.
No, actually, you have no ass.
I'm a flat ass. I would have to cut off my fucking leg to make weight to fight this dude. And we're the same fucking height, basically. Kids, think about that. Eat your fucking vegetables.
Shit.
Hey, before we get into the reviews, we
Not
have
drenched in butter like I do.
one last little bit of news. Bellator is at it again with the bobbleheads, man.
Love it.
The Randy Couture bobblehead will be given away.
That's fucking Red Foreman, dude.
Bellator
Bruce
186.
Willis.
That looks like Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, man.
I am super excited for Bellator to give these away. Like, they're awesome. But please, find somebody to sculpt the head to make it look like the person it's supposed to be.
They got the one dude from round 5. That was,
Yeah, like these.
Yeah. Round 5, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
They hired one of those guys.
they hired the Helen Keller from over there.
I don't know how long Chatham Tatum's been fighting, but he's got a belt, yo.
So would you be excited to get a Randy Couture bobblehead?
Yes, I would. I would
Who's
cuddle
next
with
in
it.
their roster that you think is going to get one?
Chuck Liddell.
You think so?
If we get a Randy Couture, I'm making him like Die Hard.
He's already wearing no shoes. You don't have to worry about much.
Yeah, we could just sprinkle broken glass
That's
around
the-
it.
on the
And
floor.
just put a
Yeah.
wife beater on him, you're good.
Oh, man.
What? You just got to put a bloody wife beater on him, right?
Yeah?
Perfect.
No, we could just make him bloody like they blew the wife beater off him.
The Ultimate Fighter is still going on.
It is?
It is. Episode 7 just aired.
Good Lord. All right.
And I was first told that this episode was being
Does
aired
the UFC even know that it's still going
Because-
on?
No, Dana came in this
because
okay.
Rich immediately texted me and goes, fucking Rachel Warner fight, bro.
Oh, that's That's right. He was on the show last week talking about how he wants to climb her tree. That's right.
Yeah. So Rachel Ostrovich-Burden won her fight over Melinda Fabian, rear naked
hot.
choke in the first round. And the final matchup for the quarterfinals will be Emily Whitmire against Christina Marks. Whitmire?
Sure.
Yeah, against Christina Marks.
Whitmer?
Yeah. So good for Rachel Ostrovich and good for Rich.
I mean,
the person you wanted to win.
I can't. If Roxanne Modafferi doesn't win this, then she's got to be done.
Yeah, she's pretty excited. She says that this round of the Ultimate Fighter is much more relaxed and was a much more enjoyable time than the last time, especially because the last time she was on it, Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey were the coaches, and they were constantly fighting and doing all this kind of stuff, and she was like, I just wasn't into that.
Yeah.
These guys have animosity, but they're going to save it for the fight. They don't really, there's not a lot of trash talk going on. There's not a lot of
she's the happy warrior, right?
people
She's always-
fighting constantly on the show.
I'm having a moment of zen.
Yeah, she does a lot of Tai Chi and shit, man.
Yeah.
She's got herself centered.
So we do have UFC Fight Night 118 going down in Poland tomorrow.
And we haven't lost a fight yet?
I think we no, not other than
Little Nog?
yeah. No, Little Nog was
Little Nog wasn't on this one. It was
wasn't on
on
this
this
one.
one?
He was on the pay per view.
Was Sam Alfie on it?
Sam Alvey's still gonna fight.
Does he get in trouble for that if he misses weight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
even though he only got
20% of your purse, you accepted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was more than that, 20%.
Warley Alves against Jim Wallhead is the one that's.
So can you? I'm curious, and maybe you know the answer to this. If you get short notice fight, can you say I can't make that weight? Can we do a catch weight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
You can negotiate that. So it is on him for agreeing that he can make that weight.
that he can make the weight. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to look at this, is all going to be going on Fight Pass. What is today?
What's today?
Tomorrow,
Today's the 20th.
technically tomorrow. I don't know. Poland's going to be a weird time, so I don't know what time.
I think it
in the
starts
future?
at no, it starts at 8:45 in the morning.
Our time.
Is prelims.
Central time.
No,
Pacific time.
Eastern. So
Pacific time.
So
Brazilian.
What's the specific time?
specifically, it starts at 8:45 Eastern. Specifically.
So what is that Pacific time? 6?
5:45.
5:40. Fuck that.
It's like fucking.
I'm glad it's on. I'm glad it's on Fight Pass because I can always go back and
Yeah.
rewatch
Yeah,
it.
it's not,
Fight Pass,
it's at
UFC.
noon in Brazil though, so we have to do that.
So you want to go on the undercard there?
Sure,
Joe?
Felipe Arante is taking on Josh Emmett. You also got Lena Landsberg going up against Aspen Ladd.
Aspen Ladd's out of Sacramento.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Salim Tahari going up against Warley Alves. Artem Lubov takes on Andre Touchy-Feely.
Feely, this is the only time I'm going to root for you, dude. This is the only time you have to kill Lobov.
Lubov said that he was going to Touchy and Andre was going to Feely.
Yeah, because Artem's already
Clever.
saying
Did
saying
he actually write it?
Probably
yeah,
not.
because Artem says after he wins, he's going to fight next month on 2/18. He's already designed him.
he's-
Yeah.
Really? He's projecting.
Dude.
Wants to get himself up there. And so now we have a catchweight fight at 189 pounds. Smiling Sam Alvey going up against Razor Ramon. Ramazan.
I'm paying
Emeev.
Fat Alvey.
Fat Alvey. Damian Stasiak takes on Brian Keller. And Anthony Hamilton is going up against
There was a joke there, but I'm going to let it go because since they took away your costume.
Adam Whisker.
A lot of Polish names.
Yeah. Buy a vowel for that one. Marcin Held. I should have saved that for this. What the fuck is Nasserat?
Hack Perzat.
Head parakeet.
Hack Parasat. Paras.
Hack purse.
The teacher watches through
Parast.
the windows like hooked on phonics, people. Sound it out. It is a word. It's a word. Let's do it.
You tell me how many syllables are in that fucking name. Moving on.
Jump in anytime.
Moving on.
Yeah, Mr. Degree.
Hack purse. Whatever.
Oscar Pachuca.
Hack purse. Quit.
I quit.
Oscar Pichota. I like that name.
Oh, I love Pichota.
Going up against Jonathan Wilson. And then Jan Blachowicz taking on Devin Clark. Carolina Kowalkiewicz is going up against Jody Escobar.
Remember when it was hard to pronounce her name? After all that, Kowalkiewicz is easy.
It's
huh?
easy now. Yeah. If we ever get to interview Nasserat Hacker, we'll have to get.
I think it's Hakparas.
I don't know. Fucking spell it out
Hakparast.
phonetically.
Nasrat Hakparas.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, that works. And then Donald Cerrone is taking on Darren Till.
Anybody?
What if his name is just Nate Haas? That's what he goes by.
It could be.
Cerrone or Till?
Oh, fuck Cerrone all day, man.
I don't know. It's Cerrone's the roller coaster, man. I don't know who's going to come in. This is in another country. Has he been drinking Sapporo over there?
That's not in
Is that Polish beer?
I don't know.
And before we get into our Bellator card, at the weigh-ins, Heather Hardy's former boxing opponent, Shelly Vincent, decided to bum rush the stare down.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah, yelling, "We all know the truth."
We all know the truth.
What's the truth?
I don't know.
That,
Word is the
so
word.
in her last fight, their last boxing matches, both that they had against each other. Yeah, that is her. So this is the only time you're going to see someone that looks like a trucker attack somebody in a leotard.
Wrong.
Have you not been?
I said looks like.
I'm just telling you, PFL is putting on some stuff next year.
Oh, it's going to look like a trucker and a leotard person?
I was going to say, haven't you been to the truck stop on 99? I mean, you got to pay extra for it, but it happens.
Shelly Vincent basically was upset that Heather Hardy won their last fight.
Extra?
She actually tried to appeal their decision. Heather Hardy won decision. She tried to appeal the decision, saying that it was because they were fighting in Coney Island. Heather Hardy being from Brooklyn, that was a hometown hometown crowd, vote that got her the win. She's been asking for a rematch. Heather Hardy has not granted her a rematch, obviously making the transition to MMA. But she says she has no problem going back and fighting her again.
That's what's there? The Hatfield McCoys. They got the Fredericks against Coney's dogs.
Yeah. So Vincent though,
Nathan's
Nathan's against Coney. Yeah.
Shelly Vincent.
Everything's a
basically saying
contest.
you can fool the public, but on us on the inside we know the real story. And kept telling her that you said no. So pretty interesting. I don't think Bellator really cared much. I mean, they did kind of push her back aside. We're like, hey, don't get so close to the stage, but they just kind of left her hanging out there. She was still yelling insults from behind.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Just shouting them out randomly?
Yep.
It looks like a buff-ass Rosie O'Donnell.
Heather Hardy.
I thought Eazy-E came back.
Heather Hardy just laughed and smiled and said, "Oh, that was just one of my obsessed fans."
Dude, her arms are big, bro.
Yeah. You can find this bout if you check on YouTube. You can find Shelly Vincent against Heather Hardy. It was a.
And she's fighting this weekend at Bellator?
Heather Hardy is, yeah.
She's going to murder her opponent.
Yeah, so
It's going to be a slaughter.
If you want to get to the main event or the main card of that's right here. This is Bellator 185.
It's not even funny. I don't even know how this fight got sanctioned.
You check this out on Spike TV.
I started praying for her opponent last week.
So do you want to start at the bottom there?
Sure. Anna Julison going up against Lisa Blaine.
Anna Julison, also a boxer who's made the transition over. And has been claiming that Heather Hardy has been ducking her in boxing. She's already pumping up the fight for her to fight in MMA. Heather Hardy says that's disrespectful to pump up your next fight before you finish your current opponent.
You need to be focused on McGregor.
You need to focus on Blaine, and then I hands down will fight you.
Well, it's just what we're seeing a lot is all the projecting to get their next
McGregor
matches.
called out a whole division. Every one of you.
Yeah. Remember when we did it on Twitter?
With him, I'm coming for you. And
Yeah,
then
but
after
fuck is
you,
this
I'm
guy?
coming for him.
But you remember how we all thought it was funny the first time he did it on Twitter and he was just going down the list? It was like, you're too old, you're fat,
God, I
I'll
remember
fuck
that.
you up, you can't talk. Like, he was just making up shit as he went through. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago. That's when it was fun and original. Now everybody's doing it. Ryan Quinn taking on Marcus Surin. And then as we were just talking about, Heather Hardy, who is an undefeated champion boxer, made her Bellator debut this year. She's only 1-0 in mixed martial arts, but she's like 17-0 in boxing. And
12.
the girl, is it 12-0? And the girl she's going up against is 3-0 in amateur mixed martial arts and likes to stand and bang. She's going to die. She won her first fight by TKO, but her last two fights have gone the distance, both standing up. And she's going to stand up with Heather Hardy, who's an undefeated champion. This is not going to
Boxing,
end well.
striking, and MMA striking are different.
I don't think it's going to end well.
We'll see.
And then Neiman Gracie taking on Zach Busia. And Gegard Mousasi going up against Alexander Shlemenko.
Shlemenko.
Whatever. I quit.
Flamenco.
I know.
I'm going to go with
I was
Mousasi.
like, I know this one, and I still fucked it up.
Hey, the moose is loose, man. I'm going on Mousasi.
The moose is loose.
hey, for UFC converts, I'm taking Shlemenko.
Oh.
I'm going to take Mousasi because he was good in Strikeforce, and then he came over to the UFC and I don't
did
know
well.
what changed. He did okay, but he didn't do as well as he was in Strikeforce. Now he's back over in Bellator with Coker. I think he's going to do great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
I got Mousasi.
Yeah, also coming off of, 5-fight win streak?
Nice.
From the
5-fight win streak from the UFC.
From the UFC and got
walks.
released. Well, didn't get released. He asked to be released to do open market.
Yeah, well, good for him.
So I definitely got Musasi.
Those are both going down this weekend. You get a chance to watch them, well then do so. Free MMA, more MMA is always good MMA. Big thanks to our sponsors, of course, Dependable Solutions. If you take credit cards or want to take credit cards at your business, they have a solution for you. Check them out, Dependable Solutions. And of course, our other sponsor, MyMMAnews.com. They do this 24/7. We do it once a week. So if you want breaking news, check out MyMMAnews.com. Big thanks to Rolando Velasco for coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, always fun.
Can't wait to see your fight.
November 2nd, Tachi Palace.
Tachi Palace.
And Lemoore.
If you're in California, get some tickets. Totally worth watching. And if you want to find us on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. Also on Twitter and Instagram, SD_MMA. And if you want to find us on our website, SplitDecisionMMA.com. Still got to renew that. And what's your Twitter handle?
At the machine 135.
At the machine 135. That's pretty much it. Thanks for listening from the SinCal studios. It's Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.